Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday Mojo. I'm back with you after a wonderful, relaxing, delicious Thanksgiving holiday. I hope that all of you enjoyed spending time with your family, with your friends. Perhaps some of you went on a little vacation, as I can see a lot of my friends and family did as well. And I'm back with you to continue our overview of the 34 talent themes provided by Gallup in their StrengthsFinder 2.0 assessment. And so if you've been following my videos, you know that this is a great tool to use within teams. It's a great tool for leaders to understand their people a little bit better and really leverage the best of what each of their individuals has to offer. And so we have covered the first leadership dimension within these 34 talents, which is executing, right? So we have four, and I know this is backwards, so I apologize, but there are four dimensions, right? One, two, three, four. We've got the talents that lie in executing, right? Which are people who need to get things done, right? It's not necessarily about starting something, it's about finishing it, right? And how we finish it and how we get things done, right? That's everything that has to do with talents around executing. Influencing is where we are headed starting today. And I'm so excited because I love these themes, right? So here you go in yellow. And I'll read them off to you. Today we're starting with Activator. But the other talents that we find within this leadership dimension are command, communication, competition, maximizer, self-assurance, significance, and woo, which stands for winning others over. And essentially, that's what influencing traits do, right? They help us get conversations going. They help us move ideas to the next level. They help us plant the seeds for projects to happen, for ideas to flourish. We all need people with influencing talents around us and on our teams, especially if we don't have them, right? So think of a leader, of a CEO of an organization who maybe has great strategic thinking and executing talents, but really is limited in the influential talents. That CEO still needs to communicate, still needs to influence others, plant the seed, build momentum within the organization. And if he or she doesn't have those talents, he or she needs to surround themselves with people with those influencing traits. And certainly they can also work to build up their own influencing traits as well, to get it to a level where they're at least able to use them, right, to their benefit or to the organization's benefit. So today we start with Activator. And I love Activator. I love it because I have it. It's in my top 10. And it is a talent that I strongly resonate with because it's the kind of person who, once they have an idea or they hear an idea within a team, they're the ones who are like, oh, let's go. I want to get it started. Let me take this initiative and run with it, right? So in a relay race, they are the person with the first baton that gets it going, right? They have lots of energy. They can build momentum and excitement around ideas and new projects and initiatives, and they really get you off to a great start. Okay, they're not necessarily the people you want to track it, to project manage it, or to ensure that it gets done, but they are going to get it off to the right start, get the right people around it, and they're not going to let that idea go stagnant. There's a certain impatience to individuals with activation. Once they know that they can do something, that they could be the ones to get something started, right? Light that ignition, they are the right people to have on your team to do that, okay? So consider who you've got on your team. Consider the kinds of projects that you work on. Are you lacking perhaps in this area of activation where there's lots of great ideas and but maybe you don't have someone who has that momentum and that energy to take that idea and really get it going in a powerful way. If you don't, this is a skill you want to think about harnessing, building into your team over time. Certainly, you can find people with the skill of activation by giving them the Strengths Finder test. And in the future, when you bring new people in, before you hire that final candidate, maybe take your last few candidates and take a look at what their talents are. And if you need a fire starter, consider, that activation could be a talent well used in your organization. So let's learn a little bit more about activators. So they're impatient, right, with inactivity. It's interesting because I'm a part of a mastermind group of entrepreneurs that you can tell there's a lot of this energy, and we often talk about let's let's build something, actually not build something, let's sell something first and then build it, right? Which is so typical for someone with activation energy. They've got an idea, they're going to go sell it. They don't necessarily know how they're going to build it yet or all of the details involved in the project, but they know that if they sell it, they can turn around and build it really quickly. They can just get it started, right? So this impatient feeling and activity is really something that characterizes activators. Okay, they create momentum, right? They've got lots of exciting energy that they want to share with others to get things going. They are definitely someone that could be catalysts for urgency. Think of organizations that are going through a lot of change, and you need catalysts who can build, bring some people together and really get them focused in a different direction and not worried so much about the past, right? So this catalyst for a sense of urgency, they've got that characteristic. Less discussion, more action. It's all about action. There's no deliberation here. There's not too much focus. A lot of the traits that we talked about in the execution dimension, you don't necessarily get it with activators. These are more about they're waiting for that bell to just like take off running. They love to initiate and instigate, obviously. They don't like wasting time. They don't like waiting. Again, going back to impatience. They can, they don't see obstacles, which is kind of cool, right? Because when we have a lot of people on our teams that see obstacles, too many obstacles, it just brings the energy and momentum down. So this is the complete opposite. They're always about, let's not worry about all of these things that may never happen. Let's just get it started and then see what happens, right? So they leap before looking, a great way to look at it. And again, there's no substitute for action. So these are your activators. You probably are starting to sense that there are people in your life with activation, especially if you're someone who has some of that opposite energy. We can feel it, right? We feel the resistance, and that's how we know. But activation is just a great talent to have somewhere in our lives for those of us who maybe think too much, we plan too much, we want everything, to be perfect before we launch. Let's go get some of that activation energy in our life and let it help us get things going. So I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the talent theme of activation, which is in the influencing dimension of leadership. And next week, we're going to talk about command. Ooh. So can't wait to hear your comments. If you have any comments, please write them below, and we'll continue to communicate. See you next week and have a fantastic Monday. Bye-bye.